it's Lawrence again, and I just finished a new intro. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you think the new title screen and everything else look good. I also decided to switch up the music a little bit. So I'm going to apologize first to all the mothers out there. If you wanted a pair of these shoes, I probably stole them from you. Apologize. So without further ado, let's get into the review. These are the Nike MK2 Tekno with a K. So these are obviously being released to the chunky shoe trend. Kanye West famously kind of tweeted about how these have Yeezy 700 vibes. With that said, I don't really think that's true. I mean, the Air Monarch has been out for a really long time, and this is just an updated version of the Air Monarch. So if you don't know, the Air Monarch is the de facto dad shoe. It comes in, I think, 2 or 3 colorways. The most popular one is this blue with a navy type of color. So let's start with the upper. The upper is made with a leather all around. Looking at the paneling, it's very similar to the Monarch. So there's going to be an eggshell colored piece over here. That is the majority of the shoe. There's a lot more paneling on this compared to the Monarch though, so you're going to see a lot more panels instead of one leather up piece with stitching. The other main piece is a fabric over here that's done in, I would say, like a grayish, but very, very light gray, almost whitish color. And then finally, you're going to see 2 Nike swooshes on the front and medial side. What is really interesting about the shoe is if you look at the 2 panels up front, which also exist in the Monarch, it's a completely different color. You really can't see it in any of the stock photos, but it's really much closer to a gray blue, a really, really light gray blue, almost like a sky blue, depending on the light and how it hits it. So it's very interesting to see that put up there. Looking at the front over here, there's also some stitching and also a Nike swoosh over here. Looking at the back of the shoe, you're going to see the main kind of difference between the Air Monarch and kind of the updated version of the shoe, which is this orange heel tab over here. I wouldn't even call it a heel tab, it's just kind of a design cue. And that gives it a large pop of color. Looking at the midsole, you're going to see something a little more complicated than what you see on the Monarch. The first thing is that you're going to see little concentric circles and ovals and patterns on the sole itself. There are also this grayish as well as blackish panel over here. On the bottom of the shoe, you're also going to see gray and black panels with a bit hint of white in there. Looking at the top of the shoe, you're going to see a mesh tongue, and you will see Nike embroidered over here. What's interesting about this specific logo is this is typically the Nike Lab logo. If you look at it, it's a vertical Nike. The vertical Nike symbol is specifically only for Nike Lab. Looking at the inside of the shoe, you're going to see this fabric over here, as well as the interior with a large Nike swoosh, which is actually unfinished. So my thoughts on the shoe. I really love them. I really love them a lot, and it almost makes me want to go out there and buy a pair of Monarchs. The reason why is these are actually $110, whereas the Monarchs, I think, are $50, $60. And a lot of times you can find it at like a DSW or something like that where there are coupons and you can get a $35 to $40 shoe that looks exactly like this. With a little markering, you can basically make it look exactly the same as this MK2, which I think is cool. But the shoe itself is extremely, extremely, extremely comfortable, as in almost unbelievably so, because I'm looking at this and I'm comparing these to my Air Maxes, the Air Max 97, the Air Max 95, which is not as bulky, but the Air Max 98 as well, which is super bulky. Those are significantly less comfortable. So from that perspective, I would definitely pick these over some of the Air Maxes just looking at comfort. And I honestly don't recommend these. I probably recommend the Monarchs because they're basically the same shoe at half the price. And so if you can cop one of those, you can easily cop one of those. These are actually pretty hard to get. They're going on StockX for about $100, $150 more than retail. The shoe itself is extremely wide, so if you look at it over here, it's definitely made for wide footers. So if you have a wide foot, this shoe is probably going to fit up right in your wheelhouse in a way that you've probably never felt before. The only other thing is obviously style. I actually think these look great on feet. If you look at the on feet, they're going to look pretty good, and I decided to wear jeans instead of joggers so you can look at what they look like really in a dad shoe type of vibe. Sizing really isn't that difficult. If you are a men's size, go up about one size up from there. And so for me, I'm normally a 7.5 in most Nike shoes. I actually took a 9 here. They fit great, but I could probably have done with a 8.5 instead, which is just one full size up. The reason is simple. It's just super, super big in terms of a shoe, and so you're not going to miss much there. If you have any questions or comments, if you hate this shoe, definitely let me know. If you love the shoe, let me know. Or if you own the Monarchs and have any comments on those, also let me know. One other thing, if you can do me a big favor of hitting the subscribe button below or giving me a thumbs up, would really, really appreciate that. And that's it, guys. Until next time, these are the Nike MK2 Tekno in the Phantom colorway.